Hey guys, welcome to Granblue Fantasy is the Epitome of Evil Part 4. And today I want to talk about not just one, but two huge problems that I came across when I was playing the 5-star uncapped episodes for the character who in Japanese is known as Narumea, or in English is known as Narmaya. And that's problem number one, all of the name changes between the Japanese and the English versions. This causes a lot of confusion for several reasons. First of all, if I want to just talk about these characters, like when I'm making a video, or if I'm reading through Twitter and seeing what some of my friends in the US are doing when they play the game, then I don't know who these characters are. I don't know how to describe these characters in a way that they will understand without doing an unnecessary amount of searching. Take the name like Narumea, Narumea, and think, how might they spell this in English? This is what I have to do with every single name, and that's even if they keep the name the same. They might change it completely, but at least Narmaya is not so far off. So I think, okay, maybe they threw in a Y, so that's Narumea, but no, it's not that. So maybe they dropped the U. Okay, Narmeya, or maybe they changed it to Meiya or something like that, but no, it's Narmaya, Narmaya. Why do they have to go that far? Is the original name or just a very slight change on the original name not good enough? So they do this for so many names, and some of the names are just completely different. All right, so for example, problem number two, if I want to look up strategy guide, because I try to read all the strategy guides in Japanese, but sometimes I just lose my patience and things get really complicated, so I try to read it in English instead. So I might look up a battle called Chevalier Magna, as it's called in Japanese. This battle is called, in English, Luminaria Omega. Why? Not only did they change the name to something completely different, Chevalier to Luminaria, they also had to change Magna to Omega. What is the point of that? That is completely unnecessary, and I would never have guessed in a million years that's where they would have gone with it. And then finally, a third problem with changing all the names like this is that if you're just an English player of the game, and this is not a problem for me, but when you hear one name from the Japanese voices and then read a completely different name in the text, that has to be very distracting. I know that when I'm watching anime, sometimes when they do that, it is distracting. I remember way back in the day, I watched these terrible, terrible subtitles of Yu Yu Hakusho where they constantly mixed up Hiei and Kurama's names. And reading the subtitles and hearing the voices being completely different, it was like, what the hell are they thinking? So yeah. Stop changing the names, it's completely unnecessary. And otherwise, from what I've seen of the translation team and screenshots of the English version, the translation team seems to be highly competent, certainly much better at Japanese than I am, but at least when it comes to names, completely unnecessary and really, really annoying. So anyway, back to the story. I'm playing through Narumeya's or Narmaya's 5-star events, and I'm seeing a character for the first time. This character is part of the Jutenshu, as they call it in Japanese, or the Eternals, as they call them in English. And this character's name in Japanese is Fyunfu, or in English it's known as Fifth, apparently. This character has the most annoying voice I have probably ever heard. Certainly in this game, and perhaps in anything in Japanese, English voice acting, you name it. Three problems with his voice. First of all, it is extremely high-pitched, and so far that's not such a big deal because I watch a lot of anime. Tons of girls have high-pitched voices. I don't even know if this is a girl, to be perfectly honest, but I'm assuming it's a girl. But yeah, extremely high-pitched voice, which is just slightly annoying, not a big deal. But problem number 2 and 3 just compound that exponentially. First of all, high-pitched voice, then it is extremely nasal. Nasal high-pitched voice, that's where we're starting to get into really annoying territory. And when you have a nasal voice, this could be for a few reasons. Sometimes you're trying to make the character sound kind of childish, so maybe that's what they were going for. But also sometimes when you have really nasally voice, especially high-pitched nasally voices, it means that the voice actor or the voice actress is going way too high for her range. So sometimes when you're really pushing your range, your voice naturally becomes nasal, and yeah, it just sounds like bad voice acting to me. And the third part, perhaps the worst part of this all, but certainly when you take all of these three in combination, it's absolutely terrible. Monotone. It is an extremely monotone voice. So it's high-pitched, nasal, and monotone. Perhaps one of the worst voices I have ever heard. Absolutely terrible. They should just kill this character off. I am not looking forward to playing through the Eternal weapon quest if I ever choose to do it for that character.